Hello, I am Test Drive, and welcome to a brand new playthrough of another PS1 era game, technically. This is ATV Quad Power Racing again for the PlayStation. It was released in August of 2000, just before the PlayStation 2 launched here in North America, and there was also a Game Boy Advance version of this game that was released 2 years later. And we get to see a demo because I didn't press any buttons. So anyways, as I was saying, yes, this is ATV Quad Power Racing for the PlayStation. And we are going to go ahead and just play through it, as you would expect from me. And we will start out here in our main menu. So we have a bunch of different options here and a very interesting main menu where there's like a light going around and it makes the shadows change behind the UI, which I think is actually kind of cool. So we have a single race mode where you can pick wherever you want, race against AI. We have the time attack mode where you can pick whatever you want and you race against time or just try and beat previous times. We have two-player mode for if you have a secondary controller. Trophies, which is basically telling me what I have completed in the game so far. We will go through that as we get progression, I suppose. And then we have our options where we have our load and save, auto save and auto load are on. We have environment, which you can just pick the weather and time of day that I guess will just stay consistent unless you want it random, excuse me. And I'm just going to keep it random just because I don't care what it ends up being. And then we have credits and our hardware options, which we'll hop into real quick. Controllers or controller configuration. Pick your player, pick your configuration. This has a weird configuration because the gear down and up buttons are on the face buttons, circle and triangle, which is odd to say the least. We have two, which is probably the one I'm going to go with. Has gear up and gear down on L2 and R2, which makes sense. Extreme lean. And there's also leaning forward and back that I've not messed with at all. I think we're going to go with that one, but just look at it. Accelerate and brake are on the same side, L or R1 and R2 on configuration 3 here, and it is very odd. And then all the leaning apparently is on the face buttons. Not exactly my style, so we're going to go ahead and commit to configuration 2. Can turn off the vibration, which I will not be doing. Then we have our screen position. Change that. I don't have any reason to do so. And we have our sound options, which as you can tell, I'm going to actually turn the SFX up. The music is inherently very, very loud in this game, so I'm going to leave it as it is there. And that is our options. So, I guess I can go ahead and save real quick, because why not? And we will choose memory card slot 1. And just to mention it, yes, I am playing this game on an emulator, specifically DuckStation, because of various reasons that I will talk about once we get into the actual racing. Yeah, this game is odd, to say the least, with certain things that it does. Anyways, last option here on the main menu is the championship mode, which is what we will be doing to get trophies and complete this game. Now, we get to select a rider. This guy's kind of tweaking. He's just kind of moving around like crazy. And then, they all have names. I don't know if these are real people or not. They might have been, like, developers, if anything. I have no idea. So there's Samuel Stone, Heather Gold, Carl Sven, very low-poly PS1 people, Wes Holmes, Mitzi Chen, very small, 4'9", Steve Youngren, and I believe that is it. Yes, that is it. I'm going to go ahead and go with Heather Gold, because why not? Yeah, that's why. And now we get to enter our name, where if I press a button, just puts it in at the end of player. So I don't know why they did that. I don't know who would want to be called player and then type something afterwards. Like, do I want to be player 1? Do I want to be player 2? I just messed up my own name. I have some things to explain once we get into the racing too. But we will do that in a second. That will work for my name. And so the game is split up into 3 main areas. We have Foxworthy Hills, White Sands, and Snowcross Ridge. I'll just be going in order or clockwise order, I guess. So starting with Foxworthy Hills, which, as you could tell, is the forest-looking area, and then there's a desert and snow. So let's get started on Foxworthy Hills. And so we have 4 different tracks to compete on throughout our time here at Foxworthy Hills, at least for the first time, because there is more than one difficulty to this game. I believe there's only one other than Amateur, which we are on right now. But we get to head to Forest 1, a very, very uniquely named track. Not at all. Where it already has preset best lap times and best race times. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to smash those completely. So 243 and 828. And we have to do everything in order, of course. I can't actually pick any of the other tracks yet. So now we get to pick our bike, or quad bike. And we have the Dirt Demon and the Hell Storm to choose from. Also, on the top right there, you can see it says my name, track, but also the weather and time of day. So we are going to be racing in good weather, not like clear or fine or anything like that. It's good. Because everybody knows that rain is bad and sun is good, which isn't always the truth. And then the time of day will be evening. I'm going to start with the Hellstorm, I think. We'll start out with this. It does have stats. The Dirt Demon is actually better than the Hellstorm in every way except for max speed. But I don't care. And yeah, we'll go ahead and pick that. Pick our transmission. I like that the lighting changes too whenever you go to the transmission selection screen here. I like the UI of this game a lot, actually. It is fun. But let's pick out manual and get going. And we will see our first loading screen here in a second. Or maybe first, technically. And we get real pictures of four-wheelers doing four-wheeler stuff in the background with ATV Quad Power Racing in Impact font just there. So, I have to admit some things. This is not the first time I've recorded this video. And I'll talk more about the in-game stuff, I guess, in a second. But yeah, I messed up my audio settings and didn't notice it until after I was going to go edit the video I had recorded. And as you'll see from the length of this video, it was not exactly going to be a short one. So now I get to redo it because my audio was completely screwed up. But anyways, yeah, so you noticed how the game was all 4x3 and everything was like perfectly 4x3 in the menus? Yeah, no, this game runs in widescreen. Why? And how do you change it? I don't have answers to those questions. I don't think you can. Like, if you play this on a real PlayStation or PlayStation 2 or PS3, it will still look like, well, it'll be widescreen squished to 4x3, and I don't know why. And there's no way to change it. Like, you saw the options. There is not a widescreen option in the menus, so I don't know why the actual gameplay runs at widescreen. But that is just a quirk of this game. And also, speaking of visual-related things, this thing's actually going pretty fast. I don't know, as it goes 75 plus. Speaking of visual things, you'll also notice probably that the performance is not good. If you play this again on a real PlayStation or PS2 or whatever, it runs like shit still. And the main issue with that is the fact that it has a completely uncapped frame rate, so you can't just even overclock DuckStation and get this to run at a consistent frame rate. It will run at an inconsistent frame rate no matter what you do. So I think I have DuckStation turned up to like 175% clock speed or something like that, just so I could have at least 30 frames per second, because it runs at like 20 at stock clocks, and then sometimes goes up to like 40. So I didn't really want that. I wanted to be at least at 30, so that is a bit of an explanation of why I am playing this on an emulator, but also because it would just be easier to do a lot of things and also deal with the weird aspect ratio switching, and because I like to keep aspect ratios correct in my videos of old games. If you haven't noticed, like you'll notice it especially in Colin McRae Rally 3 that I played recently. There was a lot of switching aspect ratios in that game, and the game doesn't do it itself. I mean, it technically does, but I manually edited a lot of the aspect ratio changes into that myself. So I'm going to be basically doing the same thing in this game too, which is a weird thing to say about a PS1 game. Anyways, welcome to the in-game experience of ATV Quad Power Racing. I should have mentioned this game was developed by Climax Studios. I think it's Climax Studios is what they're called. That was weird. They actually, funny enough, were responsible for also developing the later two ATV Off-Road Fury games on the PlayStation 2, and I believe both of them on the PSP as well. So they continued to do more four-wheeler related things after this game, which is kind of interesting. And then it was also published by Acclaim, you know, the studio that just kind of, oops, we don't exist anymore in like 2005, and managed to screw up the release of multiple games, including the original Juice, as well as a third ATV Quad Power Racing game. So fun fact, the only reason I really knew about this series existing was because I found the Xbox version of ATV Quad Power Racing 2 and bought that a while ago. And then I was like, well, there has to be a first one, and lo and behold, here it is on the PlayStation. But yeah, there was actually supposed to be a third one of these too, and some of the files are out there. I actually have access to the files. I've never actually gotten them to work yet, even on the emulator, XCMU. But there are Xbox files for a third ATV Quad Power Racing game, although it's called, I think it's called like ATV 3 Extreme or some shit like that. I don't remember exactly, but it is kind of interesting. But Acclaim killed that when Acclaim died, so they took everybody down with them, apparently. But yeah, welcome to the in-game also of this game. Very simple UI, or laps, position, time, or total race time, not lap time. The speed on the bottom right, gear, and I know that the green to yellow is the tachometer. I don't know what the blue to white is. It just kind of goes up and then stops at a certain point. It looks like it's related to speed, but it'll be maxed out before the speed is maxed out, so I don't know exactly how that works. And then our little map down in the bottom left, probably somewhere around where I'm sitting. I actually still have no idea. I'm recording this in a really odd way, so if things seem a little bit weird or different, that is probably why, because, again, having to deal with the weird aspect ratio changes of this game is forcing me to do things in a way different way. Yippee! One thing you may notice already, that there's a lot of shortcuts in these tracks. I think I was mentioning on my previous attempt at recording this earlier today that kind of reminds me of Sledstorm in a lot of ways, except for I think Sledstorm is a bit of a higher budget game, to say the least, than this one. Speaking of which, I don't think this is copyrighted at all. The OST, I feel like it's just all made specifically for the game, so that's why I just have it on and I'm not worried about it at all, besides the fact that it's like still kind of loud compared to the bike. But there we go. I have managed to talk my head off throughout the entire first race. I was 20 seconds ahead of Chen. And of course here we get all of our stats for all the people, well, all the final race times at least. Sven was 1 minute and 9 seconds behind me, unfortunate. And here's our final stats, or my final stats, my different lap times, and, and my total time, where I think it was supposed to be 8 minutes and something, and I got 6 minutes. Very interesting. And it says congratulations for a new fastest lap and a new fastest race. And if you want to watch a replay of sorts, it's not really a replay because it's just an AI controlled thing of my driver just being like, yeah, woo, I won, kind of thing. Just driving around the track. So yeah, I guess I'll try and get thumbnails out of this. I don't know. The four-wheeler looks very odd from a distance. The wheels kind of just almost don't exist, but they do exist slightly. But that will be our first race done here at Foxworthy Hills. And I suppose we get to move on. And that since I have autosave and auto load turned on, it will autosave after every single race that I do, which I guess is kind of nice. Doesn't really take too long, thankfully, unlike some PS1 games. And now we have a little crest by track 1 over on the right side, and it also says complete. And now we move on to the second race, track 2, Forest 2. Very unique naming scheme here. And I do like that there's a little FMV of the track, just showing like kind of what the track looks like on the top right there. Very interesting. I have to be a 9:24 for the race time and a 3:04 for the lap time. Interesting. There's all kinds of crazy different like routes that you could possibly take. I think some of these are the shortcuts, but some of them are like different routes that are locked off until I guess later. I don't know. Let's continue. And I suppose now that we've used that, we've used the Hellstorm, we can now use the Dirt Demon, and we have good weather in the morning. Good. Alright, let's go. Manual transmission, you know it. It's very funny how doing this once, like recording this video once already, has like unlocked my brain to just be able to say exactly what I want and get through things easily instead of being confused about things as I'm like starting out the series. Very interesting. Alright, let's go. And you'll notice the AI are also not particularly fast, at least. Yet at least. I think the weather is actually different this time around for me too, funny enough. I think this was a rainy race, the previous recording session. But I will try and figure out and use some of the shortcuts. I guess this is a shortcut, even though the map told me to go this way. Do I just get to cut off that entire... Yeah, I do get to cut off that entire hairpin down there. What the hell? And then I can go... Never mind, I can't go that way. I've lost the fender off of my bike. Unfortunate. I guess this is a kind of a fucky area here. Oh god. But yeah, the AI seems to be very much pushovers. At least this early on in the game, which I guess makes sense because it's the beginning of the game. Where in the hell am I on the map? I'm just in no man's land right now. And come out of the shortcut in third. That's fine. I can catch up. Whee! Big jump. But yeah, there is, I think I was trying to mention that there is a slight damage model in this game, I guess. Your four-wheelers, you go this way. The fenders will fall off. And that is pretty much it, but at least I guess it's something. And for some reason, whenever I look back, this little icon on the top right shows up, and I don't know what it means. If somebody could enlighten me, I would be interested to know, because it looks like a speaker above a four-wheeler, and that doesn't make any sense to me. Whee! Oh. Oh, I could have went to the left there, but oh well. But I hope some of you at least enjoy this series. I can imagine there's some of you out there that have probably played this as a kid or just back in the day in general, and seeing somebody play it for the first time basically is maybe interesting. I don't know. I hope so. And one more thing actually about the performance of this game. So you can overclock DuckStation to basically run this game at any frame rate that you want, because it will literally keep going up. Like, the more you overclock, the more it will go up. It never stops. You can get this bitch up to like 1,000 frames per second easily. But I know if you hit like, was it like 100 FPS or so, it will, oh, I didn't cut off the corner that time, oh well. The audio will be broken completely. Specifically the bike audio. Even though you can't really hear it much anyways. Oh, that person died. That's funny. Nope, I don't want to go that way. Hello, goodbye. So yeah, it's a very interesting game, technical-wise. Interesting is a word I would use for it, I guess. So far, like I think I mentioned, it's not a very high-budget game, to say the least. Like, I feel like Sledstorm was much higher budget than this, and Sledstorm wasn't even, like, that crazy in any way. Not to say it's really, like, bad or anything, but there's a lot of cut corners you can see. The physics are physicsing, I don't know. They're odd. They're not, like, infuriating, though, so that's one thing I can say good about this game, is that the physics work, and they don't want to make you rip your hair out. At least not yet. I don't know if things will get faster and it'll be worse or what, but so far we're kind of chilling. It's not too bad. I want to take this shortcut. This is actually a pretty good shortcut if I remember right. It's not too bad. Pretty decent. And yeah, for a game that also came out very late in the PlayStation's life. Again, this came out like just before the PlayStation 2 came out in America. It's okay. It was kind of one of the last ditch efforts before the PS2 came out to like just get a game out on the PS1, I guess. And yeah, like I said, this game only got a Game Boy port, interestingly enough. Game Boy Advance, I suppose. I think in 2000 they would have been developing for the GBA at that point, not just a Game Boy Color. And I have no idea what that port is like. I've never even looked at it. I just know that it exists. Ooh, ha. Fine, everything's fine. And also, oh, it keeps going. Also. I just keep thinking of more things to say. It's crazy. I kind of wanted a short game because this is obviously the new playthrough for August of 2024, because I've been starting a brand new game every month of this year so far. And yeah, this will be for August, the 8th new game of sorts. Also, the physics are weird in the fact that, like, if you're at a slightly lower RPM in any gear, your bike will just not accelerate. I guess besides, like, first gear. Like, if I'm, like, down a few thousand RPMs in 6th gear, it will not accelerate, and I think it will actually, like, try to slow down as well. Odd thing with the physics. Odd quirk, I guess. I want to take this shortcut again. But yeah, I figured this would be something interesting. Plus, I've tested out, or, well, before I started playing this, I had tested it for a few minutes. And back when I got ATV Quad Power Racing 2 for the Xbox, I tested that out a little bit too, and that one seems like it's going to be very, very much more interesting than this one. But I figured since I have both, I might as well play the first one first, you know? So that's what we're doing. Someday, the second one will come. Not quite yet, though. But there we go. That time was only 9 seconds ahead of Chen. And I was a minute and a half ahead of Holmes. Nice. And I got a new fastest lap and fastest race. Very cool. And we shall continue. On to the next one. Peace. Sounds. Okay, we're good. The audio in this game is not very good. Just in general, just like the quality and how it works. Like, the music isn't bad, it's just a generic kind of rock soundtrack, but it's not exactly the nicest thing to listen to all the time. Alright, Forest 3, Trek 3 even. Best lap time is 3 minutes, best race time 9 minutes and 10 seconds. And we shall continue. Ooh, it's overcast. That's the first time I've seen overcast. And it is morning. Interesting. I guess we'll swap back to the Hellstorm for one more race here. And call it good. Let's go. Alright. Oh, it's dark. Oh, I pressed the X button. There was that icon again, and I didn't even look back that time. What the hell is that? Oh, somebody already lost their fender. Good job. I saw it fall off. Oh, I forgot about this. It turns right, not left. I keep forgetting there's like a more aggressive, oh god, turning as well that you can do. I think I just took a good shortcut by accident, by the way. I didn't actually mean to do that. Also, it kind of pisses me off that the square button is look back, and the circle button is the brakes. Not exactly what I would think of when I think of a PS1 era, oh, I lost the fender. Oh yeah, this is where the other shortcut is, well, kind of. Yeah, not the controls I would expect, at least. Oh god. And I don't think, I mean, maybe later on in the game, the more extreme, or whatever it's called, leaning will help out more. So far, it doesn't seem like it does all too much, and it's kind of a pain in the ass to do, too. It's not very good, in general. Also, this bike, like, sometimes you just don't hear it, which is great, because I tend to use audio cues a lot for shifting in games. It's great that I just can't hear it. I love not being able to hear the bike at all. And I'm only running at like 40 FPS right now, so I don't think it's the FPS issue. I'm just over here trying to have a vaguely good viewing experience for the videos. Oh, it's raining now. Wait, was it raining the whole time, or was it just overcast? Because it just said it was going to be overcast. Interesting. Oh god, I don't know where I'm going. There's a shortcut there. I can't see nothing backwards. Oh god. Whoa. The crowd do a heckin' gasp. Okay. I don't think this is the oh god, the best shortcut. There's a better shortcut at some point that's also over to the left, and I have to pay attention to try and find it. There. Here. Aha! Well, apparently there's more to it as well. I guess there is at least. It looked like there was more before I got into it. Oh. I found a tree. It's fine. I am moderately ahead at the moment. I guess we'll, I still have not tested the higher difficulty at all, so I guess we'll see that when we get there. I'm not sure what to expect for difficulty, if I can expect any difficulty at all. Go this way. Water splash. Another water splash. Whoa. I agree, crowd. Whoa. I almost feel like just slowing down is like the better way to take most of these turns rather than trying to like do the crazy leaning and shit. I want to go this way. Oh, I barely made that. Oh god, I don't think this was any good at all. I don't know, maybe. We do have pretty long races at the very beginning of this game too, I will admit. Oh god. Even though the times to beat are a little high, we're still at least 5 minutes per race, which is kind of a decent amount, or decent length for a game like this. Ugh. I can't go that way. Okay. Oh god damn it. I don't know how to get on this other shortcut before, like, maybe it's not, maybe it's like another part of another track. I don't know. The pink dot's trying to keep up with me and I'm not a fan of that. And I see we're getting the same song repeating in this race because it just ended, I think. It may have ended already before too. I actually don't know. You know what? Sure, that works, I guess. Oh my god, trees. Whoa. Oh, whoa. It's fine. Everything's fine. Yeah, the physics are weird. Like I said, they're not bad in the way of being, like, infuriating, but they're very odd, to say the least. A lot of the things that happen in this game, physics-wise, don't make a whole lot of sense. Now, I want to actually... Oh, I didn't actually want to go this way, I don't think. But I want to see if there's actually another shortcut off... Oh yeah, there is, straight ahead. Look at this. Neat. Wow, that's literally just cut a corner. That's all you do there. Well, another win for me. 6 minutes 47. Youngren was pretty close behind that time. 7 seconds behind. And then all the way in the back, you have Holmes and Stone, who are both over a minute behind. Well over a minute at that. And of course I got the new fastest lap and a new fastest race, because I'm just me. That's why. Alright, next. I guess that will be the final race actually will be next, right? Because that was number 3, I think. Checking memory cards. I have no idea how I'm going to edit this video up. Like with all the weird video related things. Alright, it is the final race. Trek 4, Forest 4. And we have a 15-minute best race time and a 5-minute best lap time. I don't think I'll be getting near either of those. And I have learned previously that the area that goes up, I was like, is that some really shitty shortcut? And no, it's not. All right, we'll go back to the Dirt Demon for one more race, and the weather is good again, and evening time of day. I actually kind of like the music in this game. It's kind of funky. I like it. It's definitely interesting. But yeah, as I was saying, with that other portion of track you could see on the map where it goes like north-ish, that is, I guess, maybe like another variation of this track or something. Maybe when we get to the harder difficulty, we'll go up there. But you cannot access it yet, so goodbye. It was weird. Slightly awkward turn. This one also has very strict limitations on the track. Like, the fence does not mess around. It's just there at all times. Don't eat it. Don't eat shit. You're fine, driver. I forgot your name already. It's fine. It wasn't very important. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if you're a real person. Yeah, this music has its charm to it in this game. I like that. It's like far from the worst OST I've ever heard. Some shit like Ford versus Chevy or something would definitely probably take the cake on that. It ain't no Test Drive Unlimited PlayStation 2 OST, but it's still pretty decent. Go up the river. Don't slow down at all, because why would you slow down when you're driving through water? That's just crazy talk. The water splashes are also a nice touch. I like those. I forget I can also lean back and forward. I've never actually tried that. Let's see. Oh, oh. Fine. Not really much of an opportunity to do so. Yeah, I don't know what leaning forward or backward would do for you in a game like this, where you have a lot of gravity, or you have a lot of weight compared to the gravity, I should say. You drop like a rock if you jump in this game. Also, if you're wondering my DuckStation settings, they're pretty basic. Not a lot I've changed. Mainly just 2x resolution. As I said, there's a higher clock speed on the CPU, or the emulated CPU, I guess. And I think it's like 175 I have on that. And also I've turned on the geometry correction. So that's why there's not all the warbling textures. Because while it is a PlayStation thing, and it's like, you know, it's charming because it's PlayStation, I'm just like, I don't think it really adds anything, and I think it legitimately does look better if you have it off. So that is my artistic choice of this playthrough. Like I said, I could have played this on real hardware, but I didn't really see the point to it. I didn't really want to have to switch out discs with TDU, because I'm still recording that as of when I'm recording this. Yeah, it'd just be more of a pain in the ass to try and like aspect ratios and stuff like that too. So, and I'm not too worried. It's ATV quad power racing. It's not like it's Gran Turismo or Test Drive 6 or, well, Test Drive 6 is not a great example, I guess. A Need for Speed game maybe, although I did play all the PS1 Need for Speed games via emulation, if you don't remember. Also, here's where that other part of the track goes off. It goes out there and comes back in here-ish. Right here. Right there. And to be fair, I would probably still emulate the early NFS games. I mean, I emulated NFS 1 when I replayed it. So I don't think that's that crazy of a thing. And at this point, I'm like, as long as the games look as they should, as in like no major graphical glitches that make the game look bad per se, I'll be happy to emulate them. Which for things like PS2 and Xbox is still not easy per se. Even PS2 still has a lot of quirks on its games with emulation on PCSX too. I don't know. It's just kind of a by basis thing, or by situation kind of thing too for me. Sometimes I want to emulate, sometimes I don't. And that is all of the reasoning that I need, really. Whoa. Oh, tree, almost. Hence why I haven't been emulating Test Drive Unlimited on the PlayStation 2 when I could have. Even though it doesn't look particularly great, because there is some weird issues with like post-processing effects on PCSX2 no matter what settings you use. Although the post-processing does not look good in general. I mean, it has its problems and its weird quirks of sorts with like I think it's just a bloom per se. Or specifically, no, I said per se. Yeah, it's weird no matter what, even if you're playing on original hardware, as you could see from my videos. But yeah, it literally comes down to, do I care enough to play this on its original hardware or not? Because I have it. Like, that's the main thing, is I have the game. I have the consoles. I'm actually really not doing anything illegal at all. You know what? Screw the haters. I don't think anybody actually cares even though. I mean, I'm sure there's probably like one person out there that cares, but I'm not gonna get one guide, you know? Where's the finish line on this track? Is it down there? No, it's like up here. Yeah, it's like right on, oh god, right here. What a weird spot for the finish line. Well, there we go. Final race of our first little section here has been done. 10 seconds ahead of Youngren, and 1 minute and 36 seconds ahead of Holmes. Nice. And of course, I got a new best lap and race time. You know how they were, you know, it was like 15 minutes you have to beat, and I did almost 10 minutes better than that. It's fine. All right. On to whatever happens next, I suppose. And there we go. Congratulations, Leah. You've won the Amateur Forest Championship. Big yippee. And the game will save, because autosave is a thing on a PS1 game, which is kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy that it doesn't prompt you to save, is the thing. Like in Gran Turismo 2 even, I think it's like, would you like to overwrite the save data? This game just says, fuck you, we're saving. And there we go. So here we are in oh god, what is this called? Hold on. Trophies? Yeah, under the trophy section. I now have a trophy for Forest Amateur. Nice silver trophy. It has my name there in a weird like little box of sorts. All right, 1 down, 5 to go. And I suppose that will conclude this first video of this game. Thank you all so very much for watching, and I guess I will see you all in the next one.